Hillary Fordwich. She's the president of Strellmark LLC Business Development Consultants. She's joining us now to chat more about this. The president and she, we understand they may still be talking at the moment. So going into the phone call, they had this framework, we understand, of this plan, they say, to save TikTok. Of course, we know Congress had mandated that it can no longer be owned by a Chinese company. Once again, let's listen to this.
The kind of money we're talking about is very substantial, and it'll be owned by all American investors and, the best investors and the, very rich people and companies are going to be owning it. Very, very straight, very legitimate companies, and really companies that love America. So they're going to be owning it. It's a big thing. And on a much bigger scale, and probably that's why we were able to get that, but on a much bigger scale, we're pretty close to a deal. We may do an extension with China, but it's an extension based on the same terms that we have right now, which are pretty good terms.
Is as much as the president shared before this phone call. He was speaking yesterday at that press briefing. What impact does this TikTok deal have on the financial world?
Well, it has a huge impact. And actually, most importantly, and it's a pleasure to be back with you again, it has a huge impact for the future, because something that's not talked enough about are the algorithms they're pushing on our nation. Do you know that in China, they push all the algorithms, push being a student, being a great scientist, the number one desire of all across under 25 in China is to be a scientist or to be a tech executive, a tech leader. In the US, it's to be an influencer. Why? Because of what they're pushing. So the financial impact is now and it's in the future for what the aspirations are of our nation. And one of the issues about this deal that's huge is to stop the dumbing down of the young generation in America that's addicted to what they're pushing, which is not financial.
So you're saying they're brainwashing us?
Correct. Exactly. In a nutshell. Well done. Yes. Sorry.
All right. Oh, and our next generation are basically hijacking our future. A lot of trade tension between the U.S. and China. It's eased a bit in the last few weeks, but issues like tariffs, tech export controls, those are sticking points. What are you looking for out of this phone call today?
I think what's actually mission critical is that President Trump is, of course, the art of the deal, that he gets President Xi on sides. What's going to happen out of this? President Xi and Blaine Holt, General Blaine Holt, made a very good point there. His economy is collapsing, militarily it's collapsing. So he actually, ironically, at this point in time, really needs President Trump. So what do I see is going to come out of this? I will lay a bet President Trump is going to get a deal on TikTok, but also better trade agreements that will be beneficial for the U.S. and stop the huge, massive trade deficit that we have with China.
Yesterday, Keir Starmer celebrating he said, quote, unique bond between our two countries. Listen to this.
Today, we've gone far beyond that. We've renewed the special relationship for a new era. The United Kingdom and the United States stand together today as first partners on defence, first partners in trade, with the groundbreaking deal we struck in May, and now with the new agreement that we've just signed this afternoon. We're confirming our status as the first partners in science and technology.
Big deal. $200 billion invested in that technology agreement they announced yesterday, including nuclear power. What do those deals do now that you've had time to kind of go through them, sort through them one day later? What do they do for the United States economy?
Well, because it's AI and it's quantum computing and it's nuclear civil engineering, this is going to mean American jobs and American growth. It's going to be beneficial also for our energy, which is going to be transferred over there. And in addition, for those that care about the war in Ukraine, this means that the UK will no longer be any dependent on any of that nuclear, through the nuclear supply chain, any of that enriched uranium that was being purchased from Russia. So jobs, security, and the end of the war in Ukraine. And you mentioned the investment. The AI investment will mean increased jobs here, too, because we're going to expand both from Google, AI, NVIDIA with their AI, and Blackstone with a huge investment. That's going to mean jobs this side of the Atlantic as well as in the UK.
Hillary, very quickly, I have about 1 minute left. The president brought the heavyweights, as you mentioned, all those folks to the dinner table, if you will. They were wined and dined the night before. I think we have a little video of that. It was really an extraordinary event to watch. And the heavyweights financially from the United States were all at that dinner. And then in those trade talks yesterday with Keir Starmer, what message in about 15 seconds as we wrap here. What message does this unification, this unity, send to the rest of the world globally?
Oh, it says that we still have the special relationship. And most special of all, if I can quickly make mention, our CEO of Newsmax, Chris Ruddy, was right there in that screenshot, right there with the King and with President Trump. I think it's good for Newsmax. It's good for the economy. And it says to the rest of the world, we are united and we're going to be stronger than all of you put together.
Financially, especially from yesterday. Hillary, thanks so much. We appreciate your time as always.
Absolutely. Pleasure, Shannon.
Good to see you.